Welcome to today's Advanced Television Academy debate on the future of the set-top box. I'm Nick Snow, the publisher of AdvancedTelevision.com and Euromedia and IPTV magazines, and I'm delighted to say that we have with us today a panel with representatives from a set-top box supplier and from CA providers focused both on software and on card-based solutions, a semiconductor manufacturer, and a supplier of a wide range of device components. I'm going to take a small risk now and let each of the participants introduce themselves and describe what their company does and where it sits in the set-top box business. Starting at my extreme left, Steve.
Thanks, Nick. I'm Steve Christian, VP of Marketing and Product Management at Verimatrix. With around 200 operators in 37 countries around the world, we're setting the standard in software-based content protection and revenue enhancement for operators on a global basis.
Jason.
My name is Jason Nesh. I'm from NXP Semiconductors. We're one of the market leaders in silicon solutions for set-top boxes, both in the retail and vertical markets.
Thanks, Nick. I'm John Perzo with Analog Devices. I'm Marketing Director in the Power Management Group. Analog Devices has been around for over 40 years, providing advanced silicon solutions for systems like set-top boxes. Our primary goal is to help our customers get to market quickly with differentiated products.
I'm Geir Bjørndal. I'm the EVP Sales and Marketing for Conex. Conex is a security provider for operators in the pay TV market. We have about 350 operators in more than 80 countries using our security. And our relationship with the set-top box vendors is that we license them to support our security, and we have about 200 licensees in the set-top box business now.
Janelle.
Thanks, Nick. I'm John Algill. I work for Pirelli Broadband Solutions as Business Development Manager. We're a supplier of CPE equipment. This includes ADSL, VDSL home gateways, home networking products, and IPTV set-top boxes.
Good, thank you, gentlemen. SDBs were once just broadcast receivers, and some of them still are, but many are now very sophisticated client-server devices. An end-to-end provider in IPTV said recently that the set-top box must become the gateway, the command center, and the entertainment server. But against that, you have people like Cablevision in the States who have just won the right to put the PVR on the network against the content supplier's wishes. Clearly, the roles will develop differently for different platforms, but the $64 million question: will set-top boxes remain the key link in the distribution chain? Jamal.
We definitely believe the set-top box is becoming a more and more important role within the delivery of services, multiplayer services, not just broadcast TV. We develop products or set-top boxes that sort of embrace this concept of having a multi-delivery platform. So we have IPTV providing the interactivity. We have tuners such as digital DTT, satellite, and more recently web at night and internet type of services. And all these services, if you can imagine, are all being broadcasted through a common sort of enhanced user experience platform.
John, do you see it remaining front and center?
I think that's up to how the set-top box manufacturers and the service providers and operators work together. I think the set-top box can become commoditized if they simply react to operators' desires to keep their content as the single value proposition. If the set-top box manufacturers really put out systems that enhance the user experience and provide new revenue streams and new services that the operators can value, then the set-top box will become or can continue to become a more important central home gateway or management system.
Jason, I mean, you work on putting cleverness into the box. I mean, presumably you do see it staying at the heart of the distribution?
I think, yeah, very much so. I'd agree with that point of view. I mean, we're seeing similar comments to my colleagues around the table. A drive for having set-top box as the gateway with a lot of the operators. A few are looking for slightly more distributed models. Maybe some of the intelligence goes into your gateway in the form of a modem and thinner set-top boxes around the home. But even in those types of scenarios, when we say thinner set-top boxes, it just tends to mean the storage is elsewhere. The set-top box is still very capable. We're seeing lots more demands for new features to put into our silicon to entertain higher performance features to pass on to the user. So.
Gia, you see the set-top box, the smart staying in there?
I see also there are some challenges in this scenario, because you will have more and more service provider that wants to deliver services into the home. And in the traditional model, it's the TV operator who actually have financed the set-top box. But the TV operator will just be one part of this home gateway. So then it needs to be a change in the whole market in order to get this working. Because I don't see that the telco or the broadband provider, if it is not the TV operator, want the TV operator to control all broadband services into the home. So I think we see some challenges in this scenario to making the set-top box the home gateway. And I remember 10 years ago I visited a plant in the US where they actually had home gateways at that time. But they met this challenge and it was just turned down. So I don't know if time is ready for it now, but for 10 years ago it was certainly not.
So one of the complexities with the home gateway is who owns it and who's expected to service it and provide the materials in it.
It's a physical manifestation of the presence of a pay TV operator inside the home, and I have to agree that it's becoming more competitive. That particular point of presence and the services you can offer there is becoming more competitive. When you think about it from the consumer point of view, they're seeing a multitude of different ways to consume video on different devices and things like that. No longer is the set-top box anchored with the big screen in the corner of the living room. You're consuming video around the house. Obviously, a pay TV operator has to really adapt its model of what it's going to deliver to the home and where their presence is going to sit in the home as the consumers become more and more demanding of where and how they want to consume content. So it's definitely a time for great evolution in the thinking of both the consumer and of the pay TV operator, how they want to deploy that presence.
And the set-top box vendor is left to adapt just as rapidly as he possibly can to whatever that position becomes.
Well, they're driven right now primarily by the demands of a pay TV operator. Most set-top boxes are either sold or specified by a set-top box operator and contain security components as required by that pay TV operator to enable revenue protection and content protection wherever that video is consumed. So, as the role of the set-top box evolves, perhaps the responsibility for payment for that particular capital cost evolves, because it's a very significant part of every operator's rollout around the world is the cost of the equipment that they're deploying at the consumer premises. And if you want to shift that responsibility, perhaps evolve the functions of the box to be a mixture of responsibilities for different kind of networks, that's quite a shift in the whole paradigm of the industry that we're working in.
But for the set-top box maker, doesn't that mean he might end up with more than one master?
I think it probably might do, yeah.
Or maybe no master. Because we see it coming from the different angle. In the US, you see the TiVo, because they have started out from their own side and going after the retail market, not linked to the operator. And I think what we'll see is a kind of merge here, that you will have these kind of boxes that can do everything. But from there to be the real home gateway is still a major step.
I think Gia touched on one of the points earlier. You have the competition between the broadcasters coming into the broadband market and the broadband providers coming into the TV market, and the ones providing your traditional gateway, the others providing your TV. Where do the two meet? Who controls the set-top box makers? And then you have the added complication, if you like, of the retail market and emerging internet services, PVR-type boxes from retail, which may then provide access to additional third-party services, but over an open platform. You've still got a lot of things to balance in the mix, I think, before you see a true owner coming to the forefront.
I think the set-top box folks have reacted most quickly to competition than they have to, say, this present master, the operator. When TiVo came out, I think that really drove set-top box evolution. quickly, and all of a sudden every set-top box had a hard disk drive in it. Prior to that, the operators were probably against that because it limited perhaps or they perceived it limited their revenue stream. So I think if the set-top box manufacturers start innovating or convincing their present masters, we'll see a move to home gateway more quickly.